can we go into those stories? Can we go into the, like, if you were to sum up and recall some of the worst experiences, but the best learnings.
I'll tell you the best one, and I threw a printer over the neighbour's fence. I was that mad, and it was I got a lot of our work by willing to do stuff that no one else is willing to do. Okay. So the aquatic centre in Ballarat had just been built. It was like a $60 million project, so it was massive, and they couldn't get the cleaning company that was in there was just screwing it up, and this was during the building clean phase as well, and at this point we hadn't done a builder's clean, let alone a $60 million site, and the guys were stuffing it up, and then they rang me and said, if you can get 15 blokes here tomorrow, you can have the job. And I was like, all right. And I got on Facebook and I rustled up 15 people with white cards, mobilised a heap of gear, and 9 o'clock the next morning we're in there with 15 people. So we literally did, I think the event they had was like the National Swimming Games titles, and the pool wasn't ready. So there were, like, the water was in that was still brown, like it was caked with mud everywhere, like the whole site was a mess, and they had 3 days to get it ready for these national titles that they were meant to be holding. So yeah, I literally rustled up 15 people I didn't know, and then I got an extra 5 the next day and did 24-hour shifts for those 3 days to get the place ready to open. And because of that hard slog, they go, do you want to do the ongoing work as like a caretaker? And I had no idea of the scale, but the contract was about a $400,000 cleaning contract. So I was way out of my depth, and I had to go and get a heap of help to whip up this crazy quote within 24 hours after the titles to then maintain a team to hold that together. And it was just hectic. I wasn't sleeping. It was mental. And then we got it, and then we were doing a good job. Was
it like a matter of like, congratulations, Dill, you've won the contract, and you're like, shit.
Yeah. I was like, what do you mean? What do I have to do?
What do you mean I've won the contract? I'm not meant to win this.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't have no idea what I was doing. So I had no idea about keeping aquatic centres clean. I didn't know the chemicals to use. I didn't know how to keep the tiles clean, what pressure washers to get. I nearly shit myself when I saw that the pressure washers were nearly $100,000 to set out a job like that. And then what happened was we were doing a pretty good job. Like we definitely weren't the best, and there were some and that's to be, that's a given that we had no experience.
You've never done it before. Yeah.
And then it got to we caretaked it for 6 months, and we held it together and somehow stayed in there. And then the tender came out, so I tendered it. I got some professional help for the tender, and then I thought, I've got this. I've got the relationships. I know the pricing. I'm on point here. And then the printer at home missed a whole section of the tender. So I'm out the front of the tender office, and it's all sealed up in its paper bag, and I thought, I better check it one more time. So I opened it up, flicking through, and there's like 20 pages missing through the middle, and I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? So I ran to Australia Post down the road. There's a big line of 10 people. I'm like, excuse me, can I please let me in? I've got to get this printed. And I'm like trying to barter with these people to let me to the front of the line, because the tender cut-off date is like 10 minutes away. And I literally got to the office 5 minutes past the tender cut-off date, and being a government contract, it's just zero tolerance. So he had already taken the tender box at exactly 12:30, and I was just left there just waving to him as he went through the glass sliding doors. And I'm ringing him, and I'm like, mate, I'm here, I've got it. Surely you can let me submit it. And he goes, no, you're going to have to put in an appeal. And I put in an appeal and got rejected. So I lost something that I had on a silver platter. So I went home and threw my printer over the fence. Yeah.
Did the neighbour throw it back?
No, he didn't talk to me for a while though. So I think he heard me yelling. He was a bit scared.
Man, that is great.